Hi everyone, hope your preparation is going pretty well. Actually, I was going through videos on this topic, which is CAT exam motivation, for a lot of aspirants who were asking for it. I thought that this was a common topic, so there might be content already. But what I noticed was that a lot of videos didn't talk about the short term practical ways to stay inspired. No doubt there was content on packages and on IIMs and life at IIMs, but at the same time, I feel you need some practical measures to bring about a change in your score and stay inspired at the same time. So I took a real life example of a student. So Divya was a batch of 2022 student of IIM Ahmedabad who got in after getting 99.27 percentile. She wrote on my blog, but something which really intrigued me was that around August to September, which is about 2 to 3 months before the exam, she was getting only 80 to 90 percentile in her mocks. So she was able to increase her score by a huge margin. And in this video, I have taken some of her learnings that she shared on the blog. Along with that, I've also taken learnings from other people who have written on the blog and from my own past experience. And I've clubbed them all and combined them to share 5 learning points which will be shared in the video ahead. I've also included some links in the description for you to go through. Those are some motivational stories which have been either shared on Quora or on the blog. You can read them in your spare time. So let's start with those 5 ways. The first one is to set milestones. You might have heard people say that CAT exam is not a race, it's a marathon, which is absolutely true. I'll give you an example. I had some of my friends who were into 1.5 years of coaching, whereas I had a coaching which lasted for about a year. Now, the difference that I saw in their preparation was that there was some amount of burnout which took place for them. In order to not let that happen, you need smaller milestones. Let's say that you are currently standing at 80 percentile and you need to go to 99 percentile. Now, in order to bridge that gap, you have to set smaller milestones. Otherwise, if you keep your eye only on 99 percentile, after every mock, you're going to face that burnout. So let's say that in the first few days, you set a target of increasing your percentile by every 5 percentile points. And in the later days, you set a target of keeping the increase to 2 percentile points. Then you can easily measure whether you're able to hit the milestone or not. This will make sure that you don't get demotivated. The second one is to offer yourself treats every time you hit a milestone. Actually, there's an experiment which was conducted at IIM Ahmedabad in this regard. It's called positive reinforcement experiment. We conducted it in one of our classes on organizational behavior. So I'll explain how that works. So one of our professors took a student out of the classroom and came inside and gave instructions to the rest of the class. He said that our objective is to make sure that whenever the student enters the classroom, we have to make him touch a standing fan. Now, we cannot speak, we cannot tell the individual directly. The only thing we can do is to clap our hands whenever the student moves in the direction of the standing fan. So, when the student came inside and took one step in the direction of the fan, we started clapping. That's when he sort of got a cue that he's doing something right. That's the same way this works. Every time you're hitting a milestone and you are going in the direction of your goal, when you give yourself a treat, it acts like a positive reinforcement. So, this is another way how you can stay motivated while in your journey. The third one is to measure your results objectively. A lot of people don't realize this, so I'll explain what this means. When you're preparing for an exam like CAT, you have to keep some things constant in order to be able to measure your results. I'll show you how this works. So let's say that you get a mock result and you have your 3 sections and you have your corrects, incorrects, and everything which is given. And you take one parameter, let's say percentile, and you see that in one of your sections you have performed considerably poor as compared to the other 2 sections. Now, that is the point when you need to make sure that before you take the next mock, that is the section you're going to work on. Definitely, you're going to work on the other 2 sections as well, but not as much as the section that you have picked for that particular mock. The reason this is important is when you keep the other 2 sections constant, it is only then you are going to be able to objectively measure whether your hard work in that 1 week before the next mock actually worked or not. The fourth one is to set clear objectives. This is very intuitive. I should not have even put it over here, but I did because a lot of people make this mistake. So, there are only 2 questions that could be coming in your mind right now: whether you'll be able to score the percentile that you want to in CAT or not, and whether you'll be able to get into the college that you have in mind or not. The point is, when you're taking this exam, forget about your second question, which is whether you'll be able to get into IMA, B, C, whatever. Only focus on the first question. Don't focus on your profile, whether you're a fresher or not, whether you have extracurriculars or not. That is not of any significance. There are only three parameters that come into account when the shortlist is being considered, and there is only one parameter among the three which is in your hands, which is CAT percentile. So it's better to forget about the other two right now and focus only on the shortlist. When you get a shortlist, then we'll talk about selection. Currently, when you're preparing and taking the mocks, there is no point thinking about the second question at all. So have a clear objective while you're preparing for this exam. The fifth one is to enjoy the process. This is the least practiced, I would say, but the most important as well. There was a student who wrote on the blog. She didn't appear for CAT, but she appeared for government exams. Her name was Gunjan Rajput, and she was able to clear this the government exam in her fifth attempt, in the fifth year of taking the exam. When she wrote on the blog, she shared a photograph of all the pens that she had used in those 5 years. That showed the kind of determination you need to have for the exam. And that can only and only happen if you enjoy the process. Otherwise, you're going to give up in between. So make sure that whatever you're doing, you don't take it too much to the heart. And at the end of the day, you know that whatever you're learning right now is going to pay you in one form or the another. I have just one more example to share with you. It's of one of my friends who got into IIM Bangalore after four attempts. Like you read it right, it's four attempts that took him to get into IIM Bangalore. He had only one dream. And when I asked him how he managed to keep up with the preparation, he said that when you really, really want something, you have to strive for it. Like you have to keep fighting for it. And you also have to remember at the end of the day that every college, no matter which college you are targeting, is at least offering one seat. And that seat can be yours only and only if you stop making excuses. Ultimately, I just want you all to stay inspired because I've been through the journey. I know how taxing it could be. But trust me, the result is extremely beautiful. If you don't trust me, then you can watch the video yourself. I'll link it below. Just work hard, guys. You would definitely realize in some time how amazing this journey is when you look back. Another incentive for someone who's preparing for CAT, if any of you makes it to the Dream Institute, I'd be happy to host you on the blog and publish your story. I know it's not big incentive, but yes, it's still there. So if you have any questions, put them down in the comments. I would be happy to create another video, another blog post if you need something. Bye bye guys, this is the end of the video. Thank you for watching.